Hello and welcome to the first episode of Sonic Sound Podcast. My name is Bet.
I'm Ruby.
And this is a podcast which, as you might expect, we will talk about Sonic. And this is an idea of a podcast that I've been having for like at least 2 years. I don't know how early it was like the first time I've said it. But recently some friends of mine and some people I've been following started podcasts in a similar vein, like either inside the Sonic sphere or just in a format that is similar to what I had in mind. For example, two of the podcasts I was the most inspired by is Stardust Speedcast. That's a podcast by some friends of mine. I can't really recommend it to all of you because the podcast is in Spanish, but if you speak Spanish, you should check out the Stardust Speedcast. It's really cool. And the other one that I was inspired by is called Netlore. If you follow Cybershell, you might have heard about it. They basically do have a dynamic where one of them just resets something and they basically yap that to another person, and sometimes they switch around. It's usually Bernie who does the resets, but sometimes Cybershell does the resets. Anyways, that's kind of like a format we were intended on following, but of course we can talk about other things. Like we're gonna talk about other things like Sonic news and what are we up to, and one thing we would really want, and we have some plans on, is to get some guests in the podcast, which I think would be exciting. Of course, a dream of mine would be like to get people involved in like the actual franchise. But of course, that's like a long shoot, and we should not expect that from happening. But hey, who knows? Maybe we'll get popular enough, you know?
Yeah, we'll get Jun Tsunoy on the podcast tomorrow.
Yeah, and we'll get everyone from SEGA Sound team, you know. We'll get our Musaro set tomorrow.
Yeah. Do you speak Japanese?
Nan desu ka?
I don't even know what that means.
That means. What do you say?
I said I don't know. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah. Anyways, let's go to our first section, I guess, which is the news. Which there's been a lot. That we've been like hoarding news for a long time.
So yeah, we've been planning, actively doing like pre-production / planning for this podcast. It's like the last month. I don't know. I was thinking, is it relevant to even mention like today's date?
We should. Today, yeah, we should. I mean, it's not something that it's usually said at the start, but it's something we should mention at some point at the episode. Right now, it's Friday the 13th of June, 2025.
Yeah, so we have. I've been keeping a spreadsheet of news that we could potentially mention, which dates back a month, going as early as May 8th.
Yeah, we've just been particularly busy, so that's why some of the pre-planning has been taking so long.
But the idea is that we just do like an episode a month or something, and we have like a month. Oh, we have a month of news to discuss, which we actually happen to have now, so that's perfect actually.
So we're like, there's so many news we shouldn't talk about. No, we should talk about all of this.
Yeah. So I guess we'll start with our first item, May 8th, 2025, where Sonic Rumble got an update. Whoa.
The update 1.2.0, if I'm not mistaken.
They added City Escape and Sweet Mountain stages alongside remixes of Escape from the City and Sweet Mountain Act 1. I really like those remixes, especially the Sweet Mountain one. They are really cool. Good.
And you talk about Sweet Mountain and especially about final round, but I cannot stop thinking about the City Escape final round because, well, City Escape is basically based around the Blur Blur remix, which is the one used in Act 2 of Sonic Generations, and it reuses some of the drum fills from that version, but it's mostly like everything else is original. Like new recordings, new programming.
And then you got the final round. Final round just uses the original drum recordings of the Blue Blur remix, which is really funny.
Yeah, it's it was like I remember listening to it and I was like, what are these drums? I'm like, wait, these are just D drums.
And on the other hand, Sweet Mountain actually,
it reuses a lot of programming.
It reuses some of the brass of the original Sonic Colors 2010 version, but what the arrangement does is it kind of switches around what the brass plays and what the guitars play.
Yeah, that's during the intro especially. Then after there's like a break and then it just goes back to how it's in the original.
No, the verse is also played on brass instead of guitar, for example.
I guess you're right, yeah.
They really switched it around, which is really cool. Also, of course, probably live guitar, it sounds live.
Yeah.
And like any Sonic Rumble music, a live brass section. I think a lot of people think it's like a good version again after the Sonic Colors Ultimate version.
Yeah.
It's just cool to have another Sweet Mountain remix. That's so awesome.
We'll get in the Colors Ultimate arrangement when we do a potential Tokoi episode, maybe.
Yeah.
There's a lot to talk about, like Tokoi's music after like 2017.
Yeah. Anyways, 4 days later, next news item, May 12th, where it was noticed that the Sonic Symphony website had been updated. Of course, Sonic Symphony had their last shows, I think last year. I don't think they've had any this year still.
They had a few, I think, at the start of the year. Let me check the website.
In any case, like they had like this second year of shows, because obviously like their first year was like from September 2023 until like earlier in 2024. Is the website supposed
to be this empty?
Well, that's the whole thing. The website was updated to just be the sign up for the newsletter.
Right.
Before they had like a list of like the upcoming and past shows and the guests and everything, but last month the site was updated to simply be sign up for the newsletter.
If you are watching a video version of this, we'll probably put an image on screen.
Yeah, last time I checked, which was a month ago, you could still access the other pages. The link still worked, but they weren't accessible directly.
Yeah. The last two shows were on January 4th of 2025 in Atlanta and 11th of January on Washington, DC. So there were two shows in 2025, and those were the last ones.
Yeah, and then they went on a COVID break, and I was waiting if they were going to announce more shows and when that would be. Should we mention? I think I'm looking at I don't want to reveal everything in advance yet, so I'm trying to be vague. Should we skip this next one to talk about the next one after, and then go back to that other one?
Sure. Because like there's something we didn't mention here.
Because that's a later news item.
No. I mean, there's something I don't see in the news items.
True. Yeah, there was like...
We should talk about that.
There was going to be a show in Texas or something. I forgot where. But somewhere in the US, as most of the Sonic Symphony shows are. That was like... It wasn't really announced anywhere, but the venue had like a thing for pre-orders.
Wasn't there a newsletter sent, or am I mistaken?
No, it was specific the venue that was marketing it.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
That was like gonna do a pre-sale or something. It was confirmed by Sonic Symphony staff that was official. Just it hadn't been officially announced yet. The venue or the promoter or whatever just wanted to be early on that. But that brings us to the next item we have from June 3rd, 2025, 10 days ago as of now. All the Sonic Symphony shows for this year had been cancelled. That were apparently being planned, including the one that was that had that pre-sale going on or about to go on.
Yeah. I remember them tweeting like, especially like some procrastinator, like, "Hey, wait before you buy anything, just wait for an announcement." And I guess this was the announcement.
And again, Sonic Symphony staff confirmed that SEGA, quote, changed their mind. And we don't know what that means. Well, like, no shows this year, and we don't know what that means for next year.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I'm gonna miss. I miss a lot, like just looking at clips of Symphony on Twitter and just seeing if they have any arrangement and all of that. Because yeah, of course, we've gone to the Symphony and we can talk about that in one episode. But just even if we take out the going to the Symphony, just the cycle of that happening was cool, and I kind of miss that.
Shota Nakama, the guitarist and producer, like, posting like previews of like sheet music, like, what song could this be? Or him playing like a guitar riff on Twitter while being drunk. But yeah, that's all the Sonic Symphony news we have. If we go back to the news item we skipped. On the 20th of May, it was announced that there'd be a Sonic Movie 3 promotion. Oh no, it released. No, it was the trailer, I think. I didn't clearly write this down clear enough.
It's fine.
There was a Sonic Movie 3 promotion in Sonic Rumble, where that both in the trailer and game, used a song that had been in the files of Sonic Rumble for a while that finally got used. There are a few other songs in the files that have a similar naming scheme that are presumably this for other collaboration promotions that might happen in the future. It's just very interesting with how long it's been in the files.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, it's been like since the update that added the final round music. Like
yeah, basically since update 1.0, which was released a while ago.
Yeah. Cool. It's cool to see that finally being used.
Yeah.
Next news item. Sonic Racing Crossworld. The other day was the
Summer Game Fest.
Summer Game Fest event. The Summer Game Fest. Yeah, Summer Game Fest, which had a trailer of Sonic Racing Crossworld, where they actually announced the first.
Announced a lot of stuff.
Well, they announced a lot of stuff, including Hatsune Miku, Iban, and Joker from Persona 5. But they also announced the first. Well, they announced like a season pass, and the first wave of DLC that will come is Minecraft. And it actually had remixed Minecraft music in the trailer, so we're gonna get Minecraft remixes for the Sonic Racing game, which is really funny.
Yeah, and that means we're probably gonna get even more remixes from other franchises by Sega Sound Team.
Yeah.
Assuming it's not gonna be Sega, because I think the Sega collabs are just gonna be part of the free updates, like Hatsune Miku and Ichiban and Joker.
Yeah, those are part of the free updates, and Izuka mentioned that in an interview, if I remember correctly. The outside collaborations, the third parties, those are the paid season pass DLC. Then another part that I technically didn't write down here, but right after there were, of course, Summer Game Fest demos and stuff like that, and it was actually reported that there is a vocal opening theme in the game. Something I wasn't even expecting. There was not a thought that crossed my mind.
Me neither.
Because the soundtrack was clearly way different than Team Sonic Racing was, which is by Jun Snow. Jun.
Or even other Sonic games.
It was like Jun likes putting vocal themes in his games. But also like the
Sonic
earlier
Shadow Generations and Sonic Generations.
Yes, and Sonic Superstars.
And Sonic 4.
But you know what I mean. Like Sonic and the Black Knight, Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Heroes.
Team Sonic Racing.
And Team Sonic Racing, yeah. But it was clear this game was not June in charge.
Bro's been busy.
Which leads actually to the next point, where 2 days ago, June 10th, it was like the director of the game, right? Or some
Mr. Mama himself.
Mr. Mama. We should have maybe written down more details, but actually mentioned in a tweet that Takehito Kai and Kano no Guni are in charge of sound in Sonic Racing Crossworlds, which it's glad to have some confirmation on who is involved with the music. Takehito Kai was very obvious, in my opinion, already because of some of his signature sounds and some production stuff.
Yeah.
And Kano no Guni may have done the stuff that didn't sound as obvious by stuff. Or maybe there's more composers involved and they are just leading, or Kai did all the music, Guni did sound effects or whatever. We don't know that. All we know is that Takehito Kai and Kano no Guni at the very least are involved or in charge of sound for the game.
Just FYI, the director is called Masaru Koyakawa and Kohayakawa. What a name! At Koha 2010 on XD Everything app.
We're gonna censor that and put Twitter on that. Anyways, yesterday we actually had a double news thing going on yesterday, which is kind of funny because I think we already agreed to like try to record something this week.
Yeah.
And then they dropped 2 more news items, relevant news items for us.
Yeah, because there's like a few things that also happened recently that are like Sonic music adjacent that we didn't put this here, like some game announcements, some collaborations. But I guess the things we have here are like more relevant, I guess.
Oh yeah, for the news we try to talk. The news section is the Sonic Sound podcast, so the news that we talk about is directly related to the music of the series. So we actually had 2 music related things announced.
We should start with the smaller one, I guess.
Slash released. Yes, sure. Start with the smaller one. 2 Sonic music related things announced / released yesterday, because a new yesterday being June 12th, Sonic Dream Team got a new update. It was that time of year again.
That time of year when they have to like, oh right, we need to charge these people for Apple Arcade.
They released an update adding like character skins to the game.
Yeah, basically just costumes.
As well as 4 new...
There's some other collectibles, but for us, the important thing is that they added 4 new tracks.
4 new collectible songs. Those being Westopolis from Shadow the Hedgehog, Sunset Heights Act 1 from Sonic X Shadow Generations, Chaos Island Act 1 from Sonic X Shadow Generations, and Cyberspace 4F Hype Street Remix from Sonic Frontiers The Final Horizon, which, like the Enjoy This World, which was in an earlier update, it has its ending instead of being faded out on the soundtrack, which is really funny.
Yeah. By ending, it's probably like that's just how the end of the project sounds, and it probably wasn't meant to be heard.
Well,
but hey, whatever. We have an ending. It's cool.
Not being meant to be heard. It's like a thing. Like that's just how they make the song, and on the soundtrack release, they decide to like, oh, do we keep this or should we just put a loop on it and fade it out, stuff like that.
Could be. Yeah.
Like on Planet Wisp, Act 1. On a Color soundtrack, it fades out, but on the 25th anniversary selection, it ends. Why they decide to do that, we don't know. That's just how they handle things.
Yeah, it's really funny to get beat-rap fed all of these endings and instrumentals with all of these mobile game collaborations, Roblox. We've been having
it's been a while.
It's been a while since the last instrumental in Roblox in Sonic Speed Sim.
Yeah. Who knows what or not even instrumental, maybe they just get an odd version of a song like the
Road Canyon Act 1
Road Canyon Act 1 from Sonic Shadow Generations, when that was added to Sonic Speed Simulator, it just didn't have the organ. And to quote Nibrock Rock, who is director of the game, I think at this point.
I think he's the director.
He just said, "Wait, what?" Yeah, that's just funny.
There definitely was some miscommunication in between them, in which they just got the wrong track and nobody realized until we pointed it out.
But yes. Anyways, we have, like mentioned, a bigger news item, which is actually quite big. Like I just said, it's really exciting. They announced the Sonic Music Experience, which is going to be a live concert that's going to be held in Tokyo next month. That will feature a Tomoyo Otani DJ set and Sonic Adventure Music Experience performance.
I can't believe they put Sonic Adventure Music Experience in my Sonic Music Experience.
Yeah, the name is really funny because Sonic Adventure Music Experience is, of course, the band that June set up with bass player Takeshi Taneda and drummer Act back in 2016 to play some concerts playing Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 music for the series' 25th anniversary. And that brand carried over to Sonic Racing soundtrack. And they all the band songs songs except Push 40 Green Light Ride are performed by the Sonic Adventure Music Experience.
Yeah. Every song that featured all three performers would be set to perform by Sonic Adventure Music Experience at least.
And the last time the name had really been used was on the Sessions. You're right, but was that what year was Sessions?
Sessions was 2021.
It was 2022. It was 2022. I just checked. Which means that the name was first still used on the Sonic 30th anniversary Symphony, specifically in the second Crush 40 half set, where they played Escape from the City with Nathan Sharp, where instead of being Crush 40, they specifically performed that as Escape from the City. They specifically performed that as Sonic Adventure Music Experience, because...
That is not the first time we've seen that
no, they played that. That's based on the one they played in S.A.M.E. UK in 2019, But that's the side that we're distracting from what I'm trying to talk about.
That's fine, sorry.
Now I lost my train of thought. Yeah, that they used the name there. Sonic Colors Ultimate didn't have the name anywhere, neither in the game or on the soundtrack. And they were mentioned on the Rock and Sonic the Hedgehog Sessions album still.
It's funny because that it features the Beyond the Speed Off arrangement that was used in the update for Sonic Racing, not Sonic Team Sonic
the
Racing,
mobile game,
Sonic Racing for Apple Arcade, and they added Green Hill and they used that arrangement for that course, and that was funny because that was announced before the Symphony. That was I think that was announced in the Sonic Central before the Symphony.
And after that, it's been quiet on the S.A.M.E. or S.A.M.E., whatever you want to call it. I'm not gonna keep saying Sonic Adventure Music Experience because that's such a mouthful. That was the last we heard of the band. Of course, the June kept doing music for Sonic games and stuff, of course, but it wasn't until Sonic X Shadow Generations soundtrack release. No. The game credits also mentioned S.A.M.E., but it wasn't until
the soundtrack before the game came out.
Well,
the Amazon listings and all of the
yeah. But it was pretty obvious as well from some songs we heard that it was June and his band setup. There wasn't the soundtrack listings pre-order for the soundtrack release CD, and the game credits that mentioned S.A.M.E. That this brand of the S.A.M.E. was being brought back. In Sonic X Shadow Generations, they performed Real Canyon Act 1, Sunset Heights Act 1, And technically, also, if you want to get technical, they did the Metal Overlord One Made Of music, but that's listed as Crush 40 because Johnny Jewelly's vocals are in there. And they did some of the menu stuff and the cutscene from the Tokyo DLC. Together with G-Wiz.
You could also say, I guess, was Neo Devil Doom, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, that's, again, like
also
What I Made Of.
40,
That's listed as Crush 40 because Johnny Jewelly's vocals are reused on that. But okay, the brand came back from being absent for a few years.
And I want to mention this because I remember making a post about this, being like, oh, with all of this Sonic Adventure Music Experience branding, I wonder if they're gonna do anything. Like, are they gonna do concerts again? I'll put the post in the video if you're watching that.
And lo and behold, Sonic Music Experience. It's Sonic Adventure Music Experience. Unlike the last actual S.A.M.E. concert, which was, like mentioned before, in the UK in 2019. Now they could potentially also play, well, sure, Sonic Racing, the Beyond the Speed of remix, but also stuff from Sonic Colors Ultimate.
Sonic Sessions and Shadow Generations. Yeah,
Shadow Generations. Sonic Sessions, sure, but do you think they're gonna... All of those songs have a live vocalist, you know?
Except Beyond the Speed, but you already mentioned that.
Yeah, but that one is... It's on Sonic Sessions, but it's from Sonic Racing.
That is true.
Even on the album, it specifies it's from Sonic Racing and it's not from the...
This is really funny if you go like a few news ago, like a few headlines ago, and see how...
funny? I wouldn't use that word, but it's an interesting coincidence that
SEGA...
Sonic Symphony shows have been cancelled for the whole year.
Yeah.
And not even a month later, they announced a Sonic concert in Tokyo with Tomoyo Otani and Jun Tsunoi,
who are known to be guests at prior Symphony events.
If they're not gonna keep doing Symphony, or even if they are gonna keep doing Symphony, I would love them to also do Sonic Music Experience internationally. I'd love to go to a show myself.
I would love that.
Because one thing, the viewers don't, maybe. I don't. Well, of course, Sonic Symphony is great. I like it, but one specific part that I always found lacking is how you have the first act where they play orchestra music, right? And that could be any music, virtually anything, right? Like stage music, vocal themes, just instrumental, of course, whatever. And then the second act, they just play the big vocal theme with a band as they were originally asked. But it kind of leaves a gap of like having all the other music, all the like instrumental, the stage music, that also can be played by a band. That's just kind of left out. Yeah, that's what the Sonic Adventure Music Experience concerts were. They just played the stage music from Sonic Adventure 2, and sometimes they would play Seaside Hill from Sonic Generations. And in 2019 they played some TSR stuff, but that's missing in Sonic Symphony. And of course there's also a lot of electronic music in the series that is even harder to perform in a live setting like that.
I guess you could say Otani has been doing the DJ sets also in some way of sense, like consistently, just more in like a closed environment, mostly for SEGA events. And
TGS, and he did like 2 that were released on an album,
and a few for Sonic's birthday, especially one that was released in Frontiers as part of an update, which was really funny and had a lot of reverb.
But as Otani even tweeted about it, like he mentioned, also like they'll be like, performing as much as like you're not performing the song, but you're DJing, you are playing the song. Like EDM stuff will show up, of course. Yeah. So that's another another area of Sonic music that the Symphony just cannot easily tap into. Ideally, I guess we get both Sonic Symphony and Sonic Music Experience as like two shows that go around the world. That's wishful thinking, of course, but then you can go to the Sonic Symphony if you want the symphonic orchestra, band plus orchestra experience, singing along with all the big hits. And you get the Sonic Music Experience, where you get a cool DJ set and play a lot of songs that you cannot hear with a proper live setup. Followed by, or I say followed by, we don't know what order they're gonna play in, but that's how they announced it, you know, the one with any DJ sets and Sonic Adventure Music Experience performance. But then you get the Sonic Adventure Music Experience stuff, where they play, you know, they can play Winnie and Ripley, they can play This Way Out, they can play
Sunset Heights Act 1.
Sunset Heights Act 1, or versus Captain Jelly and Admiral Jelly remix.
They can play the Mania theme from Team Sonic Racing. They're not gonna do that.
You joke, but they do play the menu themes in Sonic Adventure sometimes.
That is true, but that's a specific Sonic Adventure Music Experience branded arrangement. This is just a song that is performed by them.
Yeah, but yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah, I'm really
hopefully it doesn't mean the detriment of Sonic Symphony.
Yeah, and hopefully we get a recording of any of them, like a proper pro shoot of any of them, or
pro shot,
or like an album or something.
Yeah, it'd be cool at the very least to get an album.
Yeah,
Sonic Symphony was gonna, well, not was, but like
there was some talks.
It was asked by the social team and stuff if we wanted to see like CDs or vinyls or whatever of the Sonic Symphony, the 30th anniversary one after that was after that happened. And there was a lot of interest in that, but in the end all that we got was like a shadow drop of like a digital album.
Yeah,
still cool to have them as a standalone release, but
yeah,
I would have loved CD. But like now we're also like a few years later, and they've been doing a live show where with more arrangements that weren't in the original live stream.
Yeah.
And well, they've posted some on YouTube and there's this and that, but there's no good way to listen to a lot of the new arrangements on that.
Yeah, basically, if you watch the 30th anniversary symphony, you're only getting like half the experience, I guess. If you want to get the full experience, you have to go back in time and also be able to travel.
Time travel.
Yeah.
No, it'd be cool if we got like a full Sonic Symphony collection of like either studio performances of the stuff, or just like the best of performances of each show. Or, I mean, that'd be crazy, but imagine they upload like each show as a separate album.
That is insane.
That'd be really funny, but that'd be
effort.
No, but like a CD or maybe even like a DVD or Blu-ray with like video footage on it, like the Tokyo show that they fully recorded.
Yeah, they haven't done anything with that.
Well, they have. They had been editing it together, and last year on the Sonic, on Sonic's anniversary, on Sonic's birthday, they did a Sonic official live stream where they showed some of that. It was edited together. They played, I think it was like, they showed the Aquarium Park Plant Wisp arrangement. Break Through It All and Escape from the City, I think it was. But
don't quote me on that. And One Way Dream.
And yeah, then also One Way Dream acoustic version. And it even had like a whole during One Way Dream they even showed like a whole credits, like this is the end of like a documentary or a movie or a concert video that you've watched.
FYI, it was not the latest arrangement. They did some later. That was interesting. Yeah.
It was New York City specifically. Because I mean that one wasn't in Tokyo, and the first one they did was in Paris, of course.
Yeah.
But that feels like that could have been, or like a proper like DVD video release.
I'm thinking like the Crash 40 Driving Through Forever DVD that has some of the performances in there.
Yes, or something like that, or like maybe they could just release like a Blu-ray of the concert or like edit it like different. Of course, One Way Dream was from New York, not from Tokyo, but like the Fantasy Star Online Sympathy concert Blu-rays, something like that. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully we see some of that in
Probably
a more
not,
proper
but
release at some
hopefully-
point.
So that's the news.
That's the news.
Do you wanna talk about what been up to lately? Because we've both.
I haven't been up to much. How about you?
I mean, I've been up to stuff, but I mean, it's really something outside of the Sonic sphere. I don't know if we should talk about it.
You come here often? Nice weather we're having.
I mean, all I would say is like, oh yeah, we've been like playing Deltarune lately a lot. That's happened.
True.
Deltarune's cool. You should all play Deltarune right now. Not right now. Keep
No, you should
listening.
wish
Keep
list
listening. Yeah, you should wish list Unbeatable and play Deltarune when you're done with the podcast. If you haven't, it's a great game.
We were in fact paid to say all this.
Yeah,
Go.
yeah.
No, what have I been listening to? I haven't not much out of the ordinary at the moment. Kind of just Sonic and the aforementioned Deltarune.
Today I've been listening to jazz fusion artist called Himiko Kikuchi. It's pretty popular, at least on the YouTube sphere, especially the album called Flying Beagle. It's a good. I would recommend it. It's really good. Just listen to Flying Beagle on YouTube. You can just find it, and pretty popular. That's all I will say. And let's go into the next topic.
Yeah, you want to go into the next topic?
There's nothing else to talk about until the next topic.
So we talked about news. We dabbled a little bit into what we've been playing, listening to lately.
Yeah.
And then the next thing we like to discuss in every episode is like a main topic. Doesn't necessarily have to be like the bulk of the episode. We'll see how long that will end up being compared to like this news section. But we would like to have a theme each episode, just something to talk about. Of course, related to Sonic music. So for this first episode, we decided to go for Sonic Superstars. The idea I had was just kind of go through the history of Sonic Superstars music in the sense that when we first, what we first heard, like when we got confirmations on who did what, stuff like that. Just from like the review of the game till release of the game and beyond. Why don't we just get started with that? I got some cool notes written out.
Let's go to the Stone Age when we started when we started to
We're actually going to 1992. Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Ooh,
because
game of the year.
That's not that one. No, because we're actually going to June 8th, 2023, Summer Game Fest. Hey, we just happened to talk about Summer Game Fest before. That's funny.
That's funny. Shout out to Jeff Keighley.
Because there was a SEGA trailer that started with some Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I don't want to call it gameplay, but whatever. We all know Sonic Superstars was revealed at Game Fest. It actually had some music from Sonic Jam at the start of the trailer, which is funny because that's the same song that was remixed for the Sonic Origins main menu theme.
Yeah, and some people said that it sounded like uncompressed or like better quality than the one found in Sonic Jam, something like that.
Do people say the same about the Sonic Classics collection or whatever it's called on DS?
I am not really. I'm not knowledgeable enough to say anything about that. I know they're like related because it's the same song, but that's about it. That's all I know.
But yeah, there's not much super interesting music-wise in this trailer. It has some song that we don't hear in the final game. It's probably not a licensed song because it had a reference to the SEGA jingle, but it was probably just some promotional music, not meant for the game. And at the end,
we don't know. We don't know what the song is.
We don't know, but it
Ooh.
purely based on how it sounds compared to the direction of the. I mean, okay, can't rule it out because Sonic Superstars has a very diverse soundtrack. But
I'm glad that song didn't end up in the game.
It seems unlikely that it was intended to be in the game in the first place. That's all I'll say. I think it was just something either licensed from third party, and then edited, or most likely it was just composed in-house as music for the trailer. Yeah, at the end, it played like not straight up, but it had like Fang's theme from Sonic Triple Trouble when Fang showed up, which was cool, but there was not much to actually judge music-wise in the trailer. Good thing, a day later, June 9th, 2023, IGN Japan shared B-roll footage of Speed Jungle, and the music appeared to be using White Park Zone Act 2 from Sonic Hedgehog 4 Episode 2.
Sonic 4 Episode 3 real!
Which was interesting, but obviously clearly placeholder.
Yeah.
It's not even that the themes of the stage match, White Park, Speed Jungle. Yeah, it had like both Act 1 and Act 2 gameplay. Both used the same song, but they showed the bosses at the end, and they had different songs, similar style to Jun Tsunoi's Sonic 4, especially Episode 2.
Yeah, this
style.
new music, right?
Yeah, this was new music that we hadn't heard before. Those songs, either they were new for the game and the game was going for some 4 style, or I remember people saying like, oh, is this like scrapped Episode 3 music that's being used for placeholder or what? Of course, we didn't know anything else at that time except that we had this gameplay and the music played in that gameplay. And also it used Sonic Mania's stage clear jingle, which was another like hint that like together with White Park that this was all supposed to be placeholder.
Yeah.
Or at the very least that those songs were placeholder, White Park and Mania's stage clear, but
yeah. I mean, maybe in the boss music, maybe it was just like an early arrangement or something. They could change it later.
But on the same day, Gamescage got to play the demo at Summer Game Fest, and he commented on how the music sounded very T-Lopesy.
That turned into like a meme for a while. I remember that.
Yeah, it's a word, a phrase, a word that got used a bit more later.
Yeah, to the point of like T-Lopes even changing his display name on Twitter to
he did
the T-Lopesy.
But that's a very funny contrast because we had the IGN footage that had either straight up Sonic 4 or very much Sonic 4 sounding music, in addition to Sonic Mania's stage clear, which of course is arranged by T-Lopes, and then we have Gamescage saying the music sounded like T-Lopes in the demo, which, okay, that's a bit confusing, or conflicting.
Yeah.
But June 11th, 2 days later, there was an interview, I think it was, where it was confirmed that Jun Tsunoya was the sound director for the game, and he was working both with an internal team at SEGA as well as external people, with T-Lopes being pointed out as an example of that. So we knew Jun was working on the game, we knew T was working on the game, which, well, I guess that checks out with what we've been hearing from both IGN Games Cage.
Yeah.
June 23rd, 2023, when they had the Sonic Central, and they had this interview with Naoto Shima and Takashi Iizuka.
Hiroshima.
We heard there was some more music in the game, like what we now know to be Pinball Carnival, Zone Act 1, Speed Jungle, Zone Act 1, and Special Stage. I mean, it was a fair assumption they were meant for the game, but we didn't know that at the time.
I mean, it makes sense, yeah.
It just makes sense, but I remember like people especially wondering about Pinball Carnival because also that same song showed up in like a video about the Sonic statue they had or something. Do you remember that?
No, I don't remember that.
I think
Oh,
it was like
you mean
Sega
like the,
Europe.
Yeah, like, do you mean like the one that showed up later in opening night live and at Gamescom? That Sonic statue?
Yeah, the Sonic statue with like Sonic with the globe on his finger or something.
Right, yeah, that's the one that...
Sega Europe posted a video about that and also played the Pinball Carnival song.
Oh, I see.
If I remember correctly. Or like wondering what that music was, if it was just licensed or maybe for that or Superstars or what.
3, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1.
Yeah. Which, okay. But all we still knew was June and the...
Yeah.
A month later, July 18th, they posted, Sonic Official posted the Sonic Superstars opening animation. And they pointed out that the music was by Lopes and Jun Snowy. Which, sure. I mean, that's true. But also that wasn't... those were the two names that we knew of.
Yeah,
so
nothing new.
There was nothing new. In hindsight, it makes sense that so many people still refer to Superstars as being like Jun Snowy Lopes soundtrack. Because that's all we knew for a long while.
Yeah. It was quite an interesting combo, especially if those Sonic 4 arrangements would end up being used in the final game.
Yeah. Now we had another month, August 12th, 2023, where they released this Lego game, like HTML browser game, Speed Sphere Challenge.
It's a game, yeah.
It's a game, but it's not a Lego game. It's an HTML game based on the Lego stuff that had some songs in it that were like obviously from Sonic Superstars, which were the main menu, Bridge Island Act 1, and the title screen, which were, fairly assumed to be from Sonic Superstars because it sounded like some stuff we'd heard, like the opening theme. That was the same melody, so duh.
Yeah.
But 10 days later, August 22nd, 2023, they released a multiplayer trailer that had
oh right, that one. That was in Gamescom, wasn't it?
Yeah, Gamescom.
Yeah, the opening night live.
Late August, yeah. That had Bridge Island Zone Act 2 playing. I don't recall much speculation at the time, but like that obviously has the same melody. Bridge Island Act 1, which we heard in the Iizuka no Shima interview, and the Lego game.
There were different versions in each.
Yeah, because we had... also. And then we had Act 2 in the Gamescom trailer. So we had 3 different versions in that sense. Two obviously way closer to each other than a third one. And we have September 7th, 2023. They uploaded the first song preview to YouTube. Pinball Carnival Zone Act 1, or Pinball Carnival Act 1 they called it. And mentioned, composed by Rintaro Soma, who at that point Sonic fans only knew from Cyberspace, Sonic Frontiers. Soma, I'm gonna check this before I say this, because Sonic Frontiers introduced Tensado Soma, Kenji Mizuno, and Kanon Oguni, who were like younger, new generation composers who were new to the company, and that was the first Sonic game they got to work on.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tensado Soma had before that only worked on Mai, Sangokushi Tyson, and Virtua Fighter.
That's the second one.
That's the Sawada that has done music for that series. Like that. There's that one song that sounds like Splash Canyon from.
I remember that. Yeah.
But it's a different game in the series. And he also worked on 4 Game Reset after Sonic Frontiers. Got to work on Like a Dragon 7 or Tune FM, Virtua Fighter. But this was his second Sonic game after Sonic Frontiers.
Yeah.
So it was, okay, that's a third name we can now write down on our list of involved composers. I remember theorizing, speculating, because, they mentioned Jun was working with an internal team and external teams. I think the interview phrased it, which interesting phrasing, but so we knew internally, at the very least, Tensado Soma, and externally Lopes. I remember speculating like, oh, what if we get like Yuzo Koshiro as like an external composer because he worked on the 8-bit version of Sonic 2.
Sato Nakamura.
Internally, I was thinking like, oh, we'll get like Tsuyuki Maeda. He worked on like 3D Blast, Sonic 3, I think. Anyways, Pinball Carnival Mike 1, they posted a song preview. It was like a full song with ending.
Yeah.
Which they usually do for games that have like a soundtrack about to be released like close after the game release. Foreshadowing.
I mean, Mania took a while. And those ones
but
had endings.
Sonic Mania also had like a vinyl closer to its release.
True, and all the songs with endings were in the vinyl. Yeah.
But yeah, like a week later, September 16th, 2023, Sonic Symphony World Tour. It was the first show they did for the World Tour proper.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were at.
Yeah, fucking great show.
Where they actually, they played an arrangement of the Sonic Superstars opening theme. Funny because that song had been revealed, of course, because they posted the opening animation earlier, like 2 months earlier. But I remember we were standing outside the door, like just during the early afternoon, right, when they were rehearsing inside, and listening through the door to like what songs could we hear. Like I remember hearing the intro to I Am All of Me, and like at one point we heard the guitar riff for Breakthrough It All, so we knew they were gonna play that before anyone else.
Yeah, we need to do like a proper Symphony Stories episode.
Yeah, we could. But I remember, like, in hindsight, like, we know that's the Superstars opening theme they were rehearsing, but and I'm surprised. Oh, not surprised. It shows that at least I hadn't really listened to it that much, to the opening theme. But they were playing something, and we were like, "What is this? It sounds like June," and we didn't know what it was.
Classic things.
It sounded like classic June music. We were like, "Is this like a SEGA Rally medley or something? What are they doing?" No, it was the Sonic. It was the Sonic Superstars opening theme.
With a cool throwback to the solo from It Doesn't Matter from Sonic Adventure 1.
The guitar solo is very uplifted from that song, which is funny.
There's like it goes deeper than that, but let's just leave it at that for now.
It's taken from It Doesn't Matter. That's the reference they did there. Yes. I know you want to talk about that solo and where it came from.
That's for later episode.
That's for another. That's a story for another time. I mean, it's a story. It's just a funny observation.
Yeah.
It has like a band arrangement, which I think June mostly arranged. I think, to my knowledge. and then Shota Nakama did the orchestra around it. June actually, I think his in-ear monitors weren't working on the 8 p.m. show.
Yeah, which is the one we went to.
Which was the one we went to, because that was the one tickets went up first for, and then they announced a later show. They announced a new show later that would be earlier on the day.
Yeah, we were robbed of being the first people to ever go to the official Sonic Symphony Vulture.
By being such dedicated fans that we got the ticket for the first announced show.
Yeah, basically. We were robbed.
Yeah, so he couldn't play the guitar solo. We missed out on that. Oh well. Yeah, it's a cool arrangement. It's like, and it's longer than the actual song, because that's always cool. 4 days later, they announced on September 20th. They didn't announce. They released Sonic Superstars Trio of Trouble, which had music by usually Inma, who at the time we didn't know of who that was, but it's someone who did the music for that animation. And
that's all we knew.
They also in the credits, all the like pre-game release promo animations they do have like a credit sequence with like some gameplay of the game and like a song from the game. I think it started with Team Sonic Racing Overdrive, which had like the instrumental chorus, the Green Light Ride in the credits.
Didn't Mania? I mean,
Mania, Sonic Mania Adventures, but that was after. Yeah. But that had Friends playing the opening theme by Hyper Potions.
Sonic Racing Overdrive had Green Light Ride.
Yeah, Green Light Ride chorus, instrumental, like I mentioned. Sonic Colors Ultimate. Sonic Colors Rise of the Wisps, the opening animation had for the first episode Reach for the Stars Recolors, and for the second episode Peak with Yard Rainbow Mix. Sonic Frontiers, Divergence Prologue.
Yes. Prologue Divergence.
What'd you say?
Yeah, Sonic Frontiers Prologue Divergence.
Yeah, that had a short instrumental snippet of I'm Here. Sonic Superstars Trio of Trouble had the title theme, as in the credits they said Sonic Superstars dash title theme, and they specified composed by Jun Tsunoi, arranged by T. Lopes. It's the first time they didn't just say music by T. Lopes and Jun Tsunoi, which was noteworthy, I guess, because it gave us more detail about also in probably the opening theme, because it was similar. A day later, September 21st, they dropped the Speed Jungle mix, which was a mix of all 3 songs for the Speed Jungle act, which gave us 2 new names, but the first one was Act 1 by T. Lopes.
Who also mixed the entire thing.
Yeah, he also on Twitter mentioned that he was the one who got to edit the mix, which cool for him, right? But they announced he was the one who got to edit the mix, But the other 2 songs were revealed to be composed by Takehiro Kai and Hidenori Shoji, who both hadn't worked on Sonic before, which is pretty cool. Takehiro Kai has mainly done music for the Chain Chronicle series at that point. And
we've been talking a little bit about him.
We talked about him during Crossworld news earlier. Yeah, he's involved with Crossworld now, his second Sonic game. And Hidenori Shoji has been involved with the Monkey Ball series, Yakuza. Yeah,
it's Mr. Monkey Balls.
You got it, Mr. Monkey Balls.
Mr. Monkey Balls.
So it was also cool to see them on Sonic Superstars. We then skip ahead to October 12th, where they released another mix. We don't know who specifically edited that one. T didn't mention it, nor was any music by him in the mix. But the battle mode mix was dropped, which gave us a look at music from the battle mode with involved composers. The first song in the mix was composed by Takanori Michiel, who
not the first time.
Not the first time he's worked on Sonic, but been a long time. He's mainly known as the person behind the music and vocals in Daytona USA. He is a
legend.
He's a SEGA legend in a sense, yeah. Burning Rangers vocals, Daytona vocals.
Yeah. If you
follow,
follow,
if you follow, huh?
If you follow Sonic SEGA Sound team on YouTube, you will see that he does like weekly streams and everything. He's very prominent, especially nowadays in SEGA Sound team.
He's always been, in a sense, prominent, just not in the Sonic stuff. He also got to remix or put together an F-Zero medley for Smash Bros. Ultimate. One of the 4 SEGA composers to work on that game, together with Hideaki Kobayashi, Jun Tsunoi, and Tomoyo Otani.
Yeah.
But yeah, he worked on, I think his first Sonic was Waku Waku Sonic Patrol Car.
I didn't know that.
That song has like an arrangement of Green Hill in it that he did. I think he listed the game on his page as doing music for it. There's no credits in the game. He also worked with Makimoto on Sonic the Fighters.
Yeah.
And his last time on Sonic doing music, important distinction, was Gems collection, right?
Right, yeah, Fairy of Ice.
Yeah, Fairy of Ice, Fairy of AEF, whatever you want to call it. He performed the vocals for that remix. That's a song from Sonic the Fighters that he was also involved with in the original game. Naofumi Hataya arranged it for Gems Collection. It's Gems Collection, right? Not Mega Collection.
It's Gems Collection. I know
okay,
that.
Thank you. Naofumi Hataya arranged it. Takanori Michiel sang the vocals. Not the last time he worked on Sonic. He was the announcer in the battle mode for Sonic Mania.
True.
But now he got to work on composing original music for Sonic again. The second song in the battle mode mix was composed by Jun Tsunoi. I mean, it sounded like Sonic 4 type stuff that we had been hearing from him.
It's almost like that's gonna end up in. It's almost like Sonic 4 music is gonna end up in the final game. I mean, at this point it was pretty much confirmed, but yeah.
Then the next song was composed by Fumio Ito and Tatsuyuki Maeda. Fumio Ito has he worked on like Daytona 2, and he's been involved with like some other stuff that Michiyoshi has also been involved with, like I think Virtua Fighter and stuff like that. And Tatsuyuki Maeda, he, like I mentioned before, he was one of my people I was expecting / hoping to see, having worked on Sonic 3D Blast. And he hadn't really been doing that much composing at that point anymore. Looking back at what he did before Sonic Superstars, he just did sound effects on like a Dragon Ishin, PSO2 New Genesis, sound editor on the Olympic Games. He composed for Yakuza 6. He composed for Dengeki Bunko Fighting Climax. But that aside, most he did was sound design, sound editor, sound effect. But before that, he had done music for. He worked on the like GBA titles, and he worked on like Daytona USA 2001. And yeah, then we go back into the 90s where he did more actual composition.
Yeah.
So it was cool to see him, like in a composer role. Because, well, it's been a while, especially on Sonic.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have. Sorry, I'm pulling up different notes. Yasuyuki Nagata, the last song in the mix was composed by Yasuyuki Nagata, who has done music for. Recently, he was on the sound team for Sonic Shared Generations. Not music, but he was involved with sound effects, sound production. He did.
I don't remember that.
He did some music for Banana Rumble.
Right.
He was on for Game Reset as well, like a Dragonation. He's been like composer for Border Break. Did sound design on Hatsune Miku project Mirai DX, I see. Sound design. He did a lot of sound design. Also on Sega Racing Classic, I see. He doesn't have many composer roles, but he did work on Virtua Fighter 5R 2008. Most recently, he did sound effects for Pirates in Hawaii, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii.
I thought you were about to say Pirates of the Caribbean.
Not that one.
Not that one.
But that's the last. That was like 5 days before the game released, the Battle Mode mix. So that was like the last list we got. So we had Jun Tsunoe, T-Lopes, Rintaro Soma, Takano Michiyoshi, Fumio Ito, Tatsuyuki Maeda, Yasuyuki Nagata, Takedo Kai, Hinode Shoji, maybe usually Inma, but yeah, I remember I wasn't really thinking of him as being involved aside from working on Trio of Trouble.
Yeah, we only knew about that involvement, yeah.
But then October 17th, the game released. I remember playing through it. I remember there were a few songs that I was thinking like, this sounds like Toriena.
Oh yeah.
Which, yep, I was right on that. Spoiler alert.
I wish I did it wasn't spoiled on that because someone talked somewhere about it and I was like, why did you have to talk about that?
I heard the songs and I was like, oh, those sound like Toriena. I hadn't beaten the game yet, and I was excited to see the full credits to see if she was in there. But I saw a screenshot or like someone else pointed out and I was like, damn it, I wanted to wait till the credits to see it myself. But
yeah, I had something similar where I was spoiled about Toriena, but I wasn't spoiled about the final boss, which was, I wasn't too familiar with PSO2's music, and especially I was not super familiar with Mitsuharu Fukuyama style, but I was like, this sounds straight out of PSO2. This is straight up, like, this is just a PSO2 song that just ended up in Sonic Superstars.
I knew,
because
I mean, you can keep talking if you want to finish that train of thought.
I just said that because it reminded me of a song we put out on one of the April Fools for Sonic Sound Archive. we made a joke soundtrack for Sonic Forces 2, and I distinctly remember the final boss music we chose for Infinite, I think, was like
Infinite.
a PSO2. Yeah, it was a boss, like a final boss song for PSO2, arranged by Fukuyama. I didn't remember that, but I remember it sounded just like that, especially with the super saws that we added and everything.
Yeah, those were Vacuity, I think that's how I pronounce it, and As One.
Yeah.
For those who know PSO2 music and are wondering. Yeah, the game, I saw a tweet from Hideaki Kobayashi. I think it was on the day of release or the day before release, I don't remember. But he mentioned being involved and doing like a single song. So that's also a name I knew while playing the game. And then I got to the final boss from the regular story, I guess, right? Which is that song that we now know as being by Mitsuharu Fukuyama, and is very obviously his style.
Yeah.
But I didn't know he was involved yet because I hadn't seen the full credits. But I did know Hideaki Kobayashi was involved. So I was thinking, well, that must be his song then. It sounds like PSO2. You'd think it's Fukuyama, but funny, right?
Yeah.
But game has a huge list of composers. Should I quickly mention them all?
Yeah, just quickly, just composer round for Sonic Superstars.
Composer round, we have sound director Jun Senoi with assistant sound director Tadahiko Nakagawa. Then we have the composers. First off, at the top of the list is Lopes. Then a huge gap before we get Fumio Ito, Takehiro Kai, Hideaki Kobayashi, Rintaro Soma, Yasuyuki Nagata, Mitsuharu Fukuyama, Tatsuki Maeda, Takanori Michiyoshi, Satoshi Oike, Hiroshi Kawaguchi, Hidenori Shoji, Iona Takashima, Ryo Fukuda, Tei Fujimoto, and Kenji Mizuno. Then we get another gap. And then we get Toriana and Yuzu Yinma. Furthermore, we have like sound editor in chief Kenichi Tokoi, and we have more sound editors, movie sound editors, and some composers, SEGA composers who are also in the development support, like Tadahiko Nakagawa, who's also a sound director, Fumio Ito, who's also a composer, and Naofumi Hataya.
There's Naofumi Hataya.
What a list!
It was really a Sonic Superstars, or rather a Sega Sound Team Superstars.
Which it checks out because there's a wide range of, I was gonna say a wide range of diversity. That's like saying the same thing twice. There's just a lot of diversity. There's a quite wide range of styles in the soundtrack. Which checks out.
You could say it's interesting. You could say it keeps itself fresh. You could also say it sounds completely disconnected. There's so many things you can say about Sonic Superstars music.
There's multiple ways to look at it. But like, for example, it also makes you, there's some names that you may not be familiar with. There's some names that you definitely are familiar with. That just makes you wonder who did what.
It just makes you wonder what happened.
That's also a way to look at it, yeah. No, like, it was very obvious that the boss in Frozen Base, Act 2, or Act Tales, one of them, the Fantasy Star...
Act 2, Act 2, both Act 2
Fantasy
music.
Zone.
Yeah, both the Act 2 both the Act 2 music and the boss in there were like inspired by Fantasy Zone.
Yeah, and it was also comparing it to work in Frontiers. It was very clear it was Ito. And yeah, like the first final boss was very clear. Mitsuharu Fukuyama. And aforementioned songs that I thought sound like Toriana. But that aside, like, well, there was the one Emerald Power that kind of sounded like it could be Kenji Mizuno.
Yeah.
That aside, like, there was a lot to take in.
Yeah, it was, and that was just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, because well, let's first say they're deluxe.
Right, Digital Deluxe first.
Digital Deluxe game has a lot of Sonic games do nowadays, with a like mini soundtrack in a standalone application that you can listen to. With the Sonic Superstars one had 10 songs on it. Aside from the first two, because those are not meant to loop, the rest was all very arbitrarily 5 minutes exactly. Extended to 5 minutes with fade out.
Very similar to the in-game mixes.
They they credited artists for it. So like title screen opening Virgil Islands on Act 1 were Jun Senoi and Lopes. Virgin Island Zone Act 2 was Lopes and Junsunoi.
Oh yeah, the other. We had to like piece that out. Remember that?
Speed Jungle Zone Act 1 was Lopes. Speed Jungle Zone Act Sonic was Takedo Kai. We knew that. Pinball Carnival Zone Act 1 was Rintaro Soma. We knew that. But then we have Lagoon City Zone Act 1 by Rintaro Soma, which we didn't know. And Sanctuary Zone Act 1 by Lopes. We didn't know, but you could piece it together, I guess. And Special Stage by Lopes as well.
Yeah, wait, is that from the Digital Deluxe? Was there all that there?
Yeah, those were on Digital Deluxe. You had Title Screen Opening, Bridge Island Act 1 and 2, Speed Jungle Act 1, Sonic, Pinball Carnival Act 1, Lagoon City Act 1, then Sanctuary Act 1, I guess, and Special Stage.
Wait, Sanctuary, yeah.
Which, well, if anything, it gave us more Soma and Lopes tracks, so, but not any of the people we didn't know any songs of yet.
Yeah. Should we go first into the tweets or later?
I mean, tweets came later.
Okay.
But like people acknowledging their involvement and talking about it, but we'll get to that because the big thing you'll notice when you dig into the files is that there's a lot of extras music, specifically other versions or duplicates or like unused stuff.
Yeah.
In the files, like Bridge Island Act 1 is taking into account like the opening theme, the title theme. It's probably
we haven't talked
composed.
about the credits song.
Okay, we'll get to that.
Okay.
It's not. We just gave some examples and stuff. You know, we don't.
Okay.
We didn't talk about everything, but no. Bridge Island Act 1. The files had a Sonic 4 sounding version, which, well, we knew the title screen was composed by Jun Senoi, arranged by Lopes. And the opening theme presumably the same.
Yeah. The melody and everything. So.
Yes. And the fact that both June and T were credited on Bridge Island in the Digital Deluxe soundtrack. Okay. But then we have the in-game in the files unused song that's Bridge Island, except just sounds like Sonic 4 music. Really makes it. Oh no, I see why you wanted to mention the credits. Sorry,
yes,
I didn't plan this part out that much.
So,
but
yes.
that gave the impression that okay, there are just some songs that Jun composed and T arranged them. Yeah, the credits. Credits all sound like Sonic 4. You got and it starts like
all of them, no, but like a big chunk of them.
Yes, I'll get to that. It starts all Sonic 4 sounding, with like an intro, and then you get like Bridge Island, Press Garden.
What?
Right?
What if you Press Factory?
That's the one. Press Factory. I forgot the exact order, but Cyber Station is in there, and Sky Fortress. Excuse me, Sky Temple.
Sky Temple.
Were in there, and all those songs sound Sonic 4.
Yeah.
So were they like, did Jun like arrange them all, but for this credit, or was it done the other way? Because then the other half of the credits, which is like Lagoon City, Sand Sanctuary, Speed Jungle, Act 1, I think it was, right? Lagoon City Act 1,
and
Pinball Carnival Act 1 is in there.
Yeah, and some
Sand Sanctuary and
it's 4 songs.
Speed Jungle Act 1. Yeah, those are the ones.
It's 4 songs.
Speed Jungle Act 1, Sand Sanctuary, Pinball Carnival Act 1, and Lagoon City Act 1.
Yeah.
But those sounded way different together with the ending. Way different production, which was odd. But at the very least, that seemed to maybe imply that. Oh, that didn't seem to imply anything yet. That's where we get the unused files, where there's an early version of the credits. That's just Bridge Island, Press Garden, and Bridge Island again.
Yeah.
It seemed, and together with there being like Sonic 4 sounding demos of Cyberstation, Bridge Island, earlier versions of Press Factory.
Yeah.
Temple had an early version with more Sonic 4 instrumentation, but not a full arrangement sound like that.
The final version already had Sonic 4 instrumentation.
Yeah, but there was more in the unused one.
I guess
think,
so.
if I remember correctly. And it was shorter.
Mm-hmm.
Golden Capital.
Just the songs that
versions.
sounded, and just a lot of songs. Some of them sounded like Sonic 4 in general.
But like together with songs like Cyberstation. Alongside songs like Cyberstation and Bridge Island, gave the impression that maybe these are songs that June wrote originally or something, or maybe they're from episode 3, got carried over, or whatever. And then Lopes, presumably Toriana, came in to arrange those. Sky Temple especially was free. Remember? Like we're like,
yeah, we had no idea.
We weren't even sure. We weren't sure if it was June.
Yeah.
Because it was so different from like Cyberstation's alleged cycle and Bridge Islands. But okay. The days after the release, got some tweets. October 17th, Kenji Mizuno tweeted about being involved with the game, that his part in the production was very small.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we didn't really hear much from Mizuno, so we could probably assume that the one thing we definitely thought was Kenji Mizuno was indeed Kenji Mizuno. Was the
Emerald Power
bullet? Yeah. The red bullet. I almost said red burst.
Burst!
Like, Colors DS. We thought it sounded like him, I remember that. Lopes, God bless, he gave a full breakdown of what he worked on. Specifying where he just arranged a song that was written by June, or if he also composed a song.
Yeah.
Which gave confirmed like the theory of like opening and title screen composed by June, arranged by T.
Mm-hmm.
Same for Bridge Island Act 1.
Yeah.
Bridge Island Act 2 is similar, but T also said he was co-composer, so he wrote a bit more composition for that.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Which, hey, that's interesting. If the opening, title screen, and Bridge Island Act 1 songs on the digital deluxe soundtrack all said Jun Tsunoi and T. Lopes, while Bridge Island Act 2 says T. Lopes and Jun Tsunoi, maybe there's something to that if T credits himself as co-composer on Bridge Island Act 2.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And also Toriana tweeted about there being
4 songs? She said?
Yeah, she said she composed and arranged about 4 songs.
Yeah.
Which we nailed those all down quite well. Just some specific details.
She didn't she didn't word it like accurate, but the number 4 was exactly on point.
Yeah. And then we were just speculating for a good while.
Yeah.
February 15th, 2024. There was a trailer posted for the Shadow Hedgehog costume for Sonic in Sonic Superstars that used the early Bridge Island Act 1 again for some reason.
Yeah, not the first time it showed up. Like we said before, it showed up before in the Oshima interview.
Yes. I myself asked T why it, like I replied to him on Twitter asking just why it sounded different.
Yeah.
And he mentioned that they just are using an early demo he made instead of the final track.
It's a demo that is in between the June version and the final version that ended up in the game, which we don't have in full.
Yeah. Just in the trailers that I played on.
Yeah.
Not in the game files.
Yeah.
Right. the game files is also the opening theme, but before T. Lopes touched it.
Yeah, it's like fully like already like mixed and mastered with sound effects, which is really interesting.
But it sounds like Sonic 4 style stuff, like all the other like June demos and final tracks. But the interesting part is it also has guitars in it, which is funny because June doesn't combine Sonic 4 and guitar usually.
Not in games.
Yeah, but the Sonic 4 sound, I mean.
Sure, let's ignore Olympics and all of that, because that's like a different thing.
True, but when I say the Sonic 4 sound, I mean with the like Mega Drive drums and stuff, not a band arrangement that uses the same synths.
Yeah, I get that.
But yeah, that's just funny. It sounds pretty cool. And I guess we'll then just then we'll skip to June 23rd, 2024, where completely out of nowhere, I mean, it was Sonic's anniversary, Sonic's birthday, but that aside, Sonic Superstars original soundtrack was just available on your platform of choice, Spotify, YouTube Music, Apple Music.
Released by our good friends at Space
Shower Fuga Incorporated, who had been doing some other releases for Sega, like the Monkey Ball Banana Rumble soundtrack or the 404 Game Reset digital soundtracks.
Samba de Amigo and
Samba de Amigo,
and Sonic Shout Generations singles,
Yeah, they would also do the Sonic Shout Generations trailer version singles that we got earlier, last year. So okay, cool. We have a soundtrack release now, and there are artist credits. Each song had artists on it. There was no extra composer arranger metadata on it, sadly.
Yeah.
But we can extrapolate stuff based on what T. Lopes tweeted about, like composition on Bridge Act 2.
Yeah.
And in the artist, for the record, like the order of like Jun Tsunoi and T. Lopes, and then Bridge Act 2, T. Lopes and Jun Tsunoi, that all matched up with the digital soundtrack release.
Mm-hmm.
So it can be assumed that the order means first the composer, then the arranger. Except if the arranger also did co-composition, then he is listed first. So that's why Bridge Island Act 1 is Jun Tsunoi and then T. Lopes, because Jun wrote the original song and T. Lopes arranged it. Or Bridge Island Act 2, that's T. Lopes and Jun Tsunoi, because T. Lopes, in addition to arranging it, also did additional composition. So his name gets the priority.
It's also how it's listed on the digital mini soundtrack, isn't it?
That's what I just said, yes.
Yeah, sorry. I missed that bit.
That what? No, but the soundtrack came with some, like, it confirmed the Toriana tracks. That Cyberstation was composed by June and arranged by Toriana, assuming that order of name theory is correct.
Yeah.
It also actually implied that Jun Tsunoi wrote Act Fortress Act 1, which there was a demo like the other Toriana tracks. There was an early version in the files, but it wasn't. There was some Mega Drive programming on it, but it didn't really sound explicitly Jun, so that was an interesting one.
Mm-hmm.
It also showed that it actually added an extra name to song Battle Mode Survival, which is a song that's just in the battle mode. In the battle mode mix, it was credited as composed by Fumio Ito and Tatsuyuki Maeda. While on the soundtrack it has Fumio Ito, Tatsuyuki Maeda, and Teruhiko Nakagawa, who is the assistant sound director.
Yeah.
The way I read that is, and it's kind of being pedantic or whatever, but in the battle mode mix it says composed by Fumio Ito and Tatsuyuki Maeda.
Yeah.
So using this theory that, first composer then arranger, means it's composed by Fumio Ito and Tatsuyuki Maeda, and Teruhiko Nakagawa arranged it.
What a mystery of a track.
It also showed that it also credited simply only Yuzuru Yinma, who worked on Tree of Trouble, for the credits. But I mean, we know June did that, at least the first half of that. But that seems to imply Yuzuru Yinma did at the very least the second half of it with a different production. Also the true final boss battle music.
And the cutscene music.
Yeah, it's implied through all that cutscene music was also by Yinma.
I thought he tweeted that explicitly.
I thought so too. I couldn't find it in preparation for this episode, so I didn't want to
let me triple check in the meantime, but...
Okay. Trio of triple check.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just gave a full breakdown, and most songs were just by one person, so that saved some hassle. Golden Capital Zone Act 2 being Takanobu Michiel was something I called, because it sounded a bit different from June's other tracks. And it did seem to share some sounds with the Zap Scrap music from the Battle Mode mix.
Yeah.
We got a soundtrack release that you can listen to on digital at the very least. Sadly, no CD.
One of the few releases at 48 kilohertz. It's funny.
But it was just all kind of shadow dropped on Sonic's birthday.
Yeah.
So at the very least, it's a happy ending to the Sonic Superstars saga, because
we got credit and we got a release.
We got a release. We got credit, some form of credits, which is very relieving after the complete silence on the official channels about the release. Because that was unlike anything else. Because usually, either like around the release, before the release, after the release, they announce a soundtrack album. Yeah, none of that happened here. It seems that something was like very rushed in the music department for this game.
Yeah.
Just like music files are like more than double the amount of size than they could be if they just took out all the unused stuff.
Pretty much, yeah.
And yeah, the huge list of composers. My own personal theory is that June started on the project. Maybe he got some episode 3 ideas or songs that he recycled. Maybe not. That's not super relevant. But he got his friends T. Lopes and Tatiana, who he's worked with before on Team Sonic Racing, stuff like that, to like arrange some of those tracks. That's why you get Cyberstation and Egg Fortress by Tatiana, Bridge Island, and the opening stuff by T. Lopes. But I suspect then that June had to leave the project before completion, presumably to work on Sonic X Shadow Generations, because that's the game that he worked on after that.
Yeah.
And around the same time, the 404 error game, or 404 game reset, or error game reset, which was a mobile game by SEGA that ended its services before, like late 2023, I think it was. Who had a lot of shared composers with Sonic Superstars.
Yeah.
Like Takehito Kai, Rintaro Soma, and Takanobu Michiyoshi. I suspect that, since they didn't have to work on 404 anymore because the game got discontinued, they were brought in to work on Superstars when June left the project, and that's why there's so much different composers and different styles.
Yeah, they got Nakagawa to pick up the slack and get the 404 people to finish the soundtrack.
That's my theory.
404 people and PSO2 people.
Yeah, because Hideaki Kobayashi and Mitsuharu Fukuyama were not on 404. And Kunichi Tokoi wasn't either, but he didn't do music.
Yeah,
but
he's in the credits.
He was the sound editor in chief.
Yes.
He was the head of the sound editor.
And we could assume he was already like doing stuff for Sonic Rumble, maybe.
Maybe. He wanted to confirm.
And the Final Horizon, he was busy with that.
Sure.
He was working on that.
He was working on it.
with Otani and I mean I get also
He did like one
two
song.
2 or 3.
Okay, true. They remixed some of the Guardian tracks. I was thinking of the Master Challenge.
Yeah, he did one new song, but he did like a few arrangements.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the ending of the Sonic Superstars saga. We ended up getting a digital release by Fuga, Space Shower Fuga, instead of Wave Master CD and digital release.
Yeah.
Actual reasons unknown. I mentioned my theory for why all of this went down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's Sonic Superstars soundtrack for you.
Truly the soundtrack of all time.
It was genuinely quite a fucking ride.
Yeah.
That's the end. I don't have anything else to mention.
I'm excited for Sonic Superstars 2. We should get I don't know. I'm trying to think of a funny, but they already used almost everyone from the crew, SEGA sound team. Oh, we should get Atlus sound team.
Shoji Meguro.
Or an Atlus sound team to do the next one.
Sonic Superstars 2 featuring Shoji Meguro.
Yeah.
That's a reference to the Sega Rally 30th anniversary album they did last year.
Yeah.
Where they did a new version of Getting Muddy from Sega Rally by Michiel. And Shoji Meguro featured on that playing guitar, which was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's Sonic Superstars. And with that, we conclude our main topic for this episode.
And thus comes the end of the first episode of the Sonic Sound podcast.
It was probably quite disorganized.
Yeah, and especially I apologize for like being a little bit like not paying too much attention or like just being quiet at the end. Some stuff were happening at my place. I'm suffering through heat, innumerable amounts of heat, and I have to like balance opening the door, closing the door, AC.
What's the temperature over there?
It's probably dropped down. Like I don't think that the temperature is that up. Let me check. It's 25 degrees. The problem is that I have barely any type of cooling in my room.
Well, it's 28 over here, so I don't know what you're complaining about. Mm-hmm. No, yeah, that's our, I guess, our pilot episode.
Yeah. Our first episode.
Oh, first episode, but it's kind of also a pilot.
Yeah.
The format will probably evolve over time.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully we get to do a second episode. That makes it sound like we need to hit like viewing numbers or something.
Yes,
ratings.
get this video out to 1,100 million views, and we'll get.
Or else we'll get discontinued by.
No.
By the labels.
Get 3 trillion views, and we will get Jun Senoi on the podcast on episode 2.
That's not true.
That is not true.
Yeah. On the format, I also still, between the main topic and the outro, I have a bullet point for saying something interesting. I think I wrote it down. I was like, every episode we end with like an interesting fact, but I got nothing. I've been yapping too much about Superstars.
I think that's enough of interesting stuff. We mentioned so many like tidbits in that were like tangentially related. So I think we should
editor make a compilation of that.
It's fine.
No, yeah. Sonic Superstars music actually was released on CD.
I hope you enjoyed listening to us rumble.
No.
What?
Sonic Rumble? What are you saying? No, I have an interesting tidbit factoid thingy, magic.
Well, say it to the class.
Sonic Superstars music was released on CD.
Whoa, right.
Specifically, the opening theme, the Bridge Island Zone Act 1 theme, Beat Jungle Zone Act 1, and Pinball Carnival Zone Act 1.
Right.
They were all released on... Yes, Nintendo Dream, a Japanese magazine about like Nintendo games and stuff.
streaming.
Sometimes they come with like promotional CDs or something. In this case, you have the Nintendo Switch compilation album 2024 Side A CD.
What a mouthful.
Which it is. It featured some music from Sonic Superstars on it, the aforementioned track. It also has from some other games. There's actually some Yuzo Koshiro music on there, which is funny. Noriyuki Iwadare. And Undertale Medley, We Are the Royal Guard, performed by Archive Philharmonic Winds, which is funny. And that released actually before the Sonic Superstar soundtrack released.
Yeah, that was like our only versions of just those songs that were released in any capacity.
Yeah, it was our only like officially released Sonic Superstars music we had. That's an interesting factoid. With that, I hope you enjoyed this episode.
Hopefully we'll see you next month with another cool episode with more stories and more news. And we hope the Sonic series doesn't die.
Whoa, that's negative. That's pessimistic. No, depending on when we end up recording it, maybe Sonic music experience has happened already.
Probably.
We'll have something to talk about that. Maybe, hopefully, there's more news. Sonic Racing Crossworlds and its soundtrack. Sonic Rumble and its soundtrack.
The other spin-offs that have been coming out. And collaborations.
There's a lot. Like
we'll
Sonic Blitz. I'm gonna just go and we're gonna say the music sounds a lot like The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. So I suspect it's the same people. Yeah. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for bearing with us. I hope we were entertaining enough, and I hope we can be even more entertaining on the next episode.
Roll credits. Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye bye.